Meet Bridget and Jen, your go-to gals for laughs, wisdom, and real talk on the podcast Don't Get Me Started. From relationships to finding joy, they'll keep you inspired and entertained through life's adventures after 50. So hit that subscribe button and join Bridget and Jen for Don't Get Me Started, because life's too short for boring conversations.
All right, one last time. Looks like you have a monsoon energy. Okay. Hey, welcome to another episode of Don't Get Me Started. My name is Bridget.
I'm Jen, and this is episode
18, The Art of the Irish Goodbye.
Yes, and
or the Irish Exit.
Yeah, and if you're watching this and you're like, something looks different, that's because
it's take three.
This is take three.
Take three.
Yeah, we are having technical difficulties, so today we're recording on my phone. So there.
So this should not get a glitch in it, right?
We hope not. We hope the phone doesn't die. All right, we are chatting about the art of the Irish goodbye. And before this started, I simply said I was not familiar with what that actually meant with the term. So, I mean, I've done what it is, but I didn't realize that it had a name for it.
The reason, so I have been doing this for a long time, the Irish Exit. I never felt good about it because I never felt as though it was ethically appropriate. Mm-hmm. I figured it was probably frowned upon, but now at this stage of my life, I realize that it's a healthy thing to do. And it's a self-care thing to do, and here's why. First of all, I was taught that I wasn't that important to even be noticed, that I was gone. Being a person in sobriety, it's something that I do a lot because the party will continue to party without me.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it, you know. I think it comes down to that sentence that you said, you know, we think we're more important. And it's not that people don't like us and don't care that whether we're there or not. That's not it. But at the end of the day, when we leave, like you said, the party's still going on. Well, it doesn't just, everybody doesn't just, oh, she left.
Well, so then, you know, I put the ball back in your court. So how would you feel as the hostess? How would you feel if maybe, let's just say, an hour into your party here at your beach house, if you look around and after an hour you can't find me and I've exited? How does that make you feel? What does that make you think? What would you say or do?
Well, I would say I'm not offended, because that's not something that's going to offend me, but it would worry me. So I would reach out, is everything okay? Right? But not in a way like, oh, I can't believe she left.
Okay, well, that, you know, plus that's just you. There's friends that would.
Right. It's more.
Oh, and then we just go back to our other episode and we just divorce them. Our friends, they get like that anyway, right? Yeah, see you later. Don't let the screen door hit you.
Yeah. No, so again, it's not an offensive. I don't take that as something that's offensive. And depending on level of friendship, I would reach out. You know, some people I would reach out to, others I would be just like, oh, guess they had to go. And that's it, you know? Nothing, I don't think it's anything worth making a big deal of. In life, you know, like I think, like, if that is something that is going to offend you or bother you, maybe check your priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
Bigger things.
No, I think you're right. I think it's all internal. I think it's us that feel the guilt when we sneak out like that. But like I said, you know, it's
and maybe that's just it. Maybe it's us telling ourselves we're sneaking out. Maybe instead of, you know, feel like we're sneaking, because when you're being sneaky, that has a negative
connotation.
Right.
Yeah, I know that at this age, it's best to, you know, you're going to save yourself a half hour to an hour.
Right.
But because even if I think, well, I'm just going to go quickly say goodbye to Jen. It doesn't happen that way.
Never.
Because there's gonna be somebody standing next to you that says, no, you're not leaving, and then somebody else hears it and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then you feel like you have to explain yourself.
Yeah, no, so I would go to my car, and I would text you from your driveway, and I'll say, Jen, I'm heading out, I had a blast, but I gotta go. So I would do that so that you didn't worry, but you know, we're kind of like, I think self-preservation and self-care would be A, continue the Irish exit, and B, have your own wheels.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Always have your freedom. Don't rely on the 2 or 3 people that promise to get you home in time.
No.
Because that'll never happen. Especially if, like, I'm just speaking from somebody in recovery, where Irish exits are very important, considering you're one of the few people that are not cocktailing at the party. Because the more you have, like back in the day, I would have promised you your ride home when you wanted it, and then it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning, and you'd be sitting in a corner waiting on me.
Right. No, I think.
And I'd say, get me another. So,
no, I think no matter what you're doing, always take your own car. Yeah.
Always have a way out.
Yeah. Because then you're in control of your own destiny.
Yeah, it's like, you go home, you get to curl up in your warm bed while everybody else is still going to town. Yeah.
Okay. Other exit strategies: the fake emergency. That's definite
bad
no.
mojo. Bad mojo.
Because I always feel like that just.
And what if something happens?
Yes.
I know. Yeah.
No, I don't like to use the word emergency unless it's real.
Yeah.
You know.
People do though. People do. Especially getting out of work. Are you kidding me?
No. Yeah. Okay. I thought this ended at 8 o'clock or a certain time.
Still lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still lying.
Yeah. Here's one. Oh, I needed to grab something. I need to go grab something from my car.
Oh, I like that. I have to say, I like that one. I love, because you know what? Because you're gonna you go to your car. You've given them closure. You've just given them closure. They're off to the next person talking.
Right.
You went and got something from your car and accidentally started it and took off.
Yeah, and it just kept going.
How do you like that? I'm gonna have to use that one.
There you go.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something out of the car. Because then at that point, somebody could have called you.
Yeah, that's true. And it's not like they're gonna remember that that's what you said. No. Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, that is a good one. Put that on your list, everyone. Oh, I just need to go grab something from my car. Okay. How our social batteries have changed over time.
Our social battery? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what we're talking about. Why we would use the Irish goodbye.
That's true.
I'll tell you how our social batteries have changed. I'll tell you. So, and again, I hate to bring up hurricanes again, but hurricanes bring you back to you go to bed when the sun goes down and you're awake when the sun comes up because you don't have electricity. Yeah. So that sets you in a, it's a hurricane daytime, day and nighttime.
Yeah.
So
it really resets the circadian rhythm to what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
And plus, because of our age, here's a perfect example. You know what a basket case I was this morning, right?
This morning was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a busy morning. Yeah.
And that was because I make I can't even say I make haste when the sun shines, because I make haste when the moon comes up, but I go to bed now when I'm tired. Oh, that sounds so funny, but I was just determined last night to go to bed at like a normal person. And that's how my brain was working. Because I said, I will get up early in the morning and go to the bakery and bake. Yeah. That's how I did it in my head.
Right.
And knowing that I probably would wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and then I could start baking. I would go and bake then and then just stay up and then in my head schedule nap time.
Yeah.
Okay. None of that happened. I slept all night long.
That's good. Your body needed that.
Into the morning. I didn't, no pit stops in the middle of the night, no nothing. I got up. And so then I was like, so I had a lot to do. Yeah. So my point of all of that is that I sleep and nap is a priority to me. So
Mhm.
therefore, my social battery, that is not a priority anymore. Like it used to
No.
be, right? Did
Right.
it not used to be your priority?
Yeah.
Like how exciting to be invited somewhere, how
Right.
exciting to be going out with the
No,
girls,
pissed
or
if I
that
get an
kind of stuff.
invitation.
No.
Why
Yeah.
are you inviting me to
Yeah.
this? Do I
Don't you
really have to
know?
be there?
Yeah,
Are you
exactly.
sure you need me there?
I mean, honestly, my career before my career actually before marrying Dan and opening the pecking order, we had a social drinking function every single night of the week.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yes, it would be.
So
Yeah.
I don't care how bad it looks to other people, there is nothing wrong. Like go ahead and make fun of me, but there's nothing wrong with crawling into bed at,
Mhm.
I don't know, 6:30, 7:30.
Yeah.
You don't have to plan on sleeping, but just watching TV, relax, talk to your husband, chill,
Yeah.
do a crossword, do a Sudoku.
Exactly. I know. I don't. If it's okay to not invite me. I'm just telling you. I won't be offended.
Oh, yeah.
How's that? We'll just put that out there for the universe.
Yeah.
If you've got a function that you feel you need to invite me to, rethink it. Does she
Yeah.
really need to be there?
Because she's gonna Irish exit
She's
anyway.
okay with
She's
not
gonna
being
Irish exit
invited.
anyway.
So that way she doesn't have to tell you no.
Mhm.
Okay. Why do we no longer feel obligated to say yes to every invite? And this is true. Yeah.
Well, don't you still though kind of have a polite response, or do you just say no? See, I still have a hard time saying you can't
Yeah.
say no.
Well, depends on what it is.
Oh. You get
I mean, like
your friend is having a baby or
Yeah.
a baby
like
shower
that
for her
kind of stuff
daughter-in-law,
you have
for her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't say no to that. That's what I'm saying. Just don't
Okay,
invite me.
okay, what time of day do you prefer to be invited to functions? Do you want to give up your morning?
No, I will not give up.
Do you want to give up your noon? Do you want to give up your evening? Okay, what's the worst of three
I'd
evils?
rather give up an afternoon.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I will not cut my day in half. Because you know what? You're kind of dipping into my morning because I already have to start pre-planning. I have to pre-plan what I'm gonna wear and bring and what time I'm gonna go. And then it's probably gonna last longer than scheduled. So now you're dipping into my
Yeah. See, they just shouldn't invite us. That's all. This is what I'm trying to say. Just don't invite us. We're a pain in the ass. Just don't invite us.
Yeah. We're becoming weird old ladies.
Yep. Okay, how to balance genuine connection with protecting our own energy.
Jen, you're not even in the picture.
Oh.
Now you are.
Okay. See, this is all part of our technical difficulties that we are rolling with.
But if you're listening to us, you're fine.
Yeah.
If you're listening, if you are listening, Jen was temporarily out of the picture right there, but she's back. Okay, what did you just say?
How to balance genuine connection with protecting our own energy. Well, I think that comes down to
bringing genuine connection with people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So balancing genuine connection with protecting our own energy. That comes down to saying yes to the things that we really want to be a part of, right? Because if not, if we're just showing up to check off the box and we're not really having that connection when we're there, right?
Yeah, and I think the genuine connection, I think that our bodies do that on its own. Like we don't have to put a whole lot of foresight into that.
Mm-hmm.
I think protecting my own energy, I'm getting really good at.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like if you go back to I no longer feel obligated to say yes to every invite. I've gotten good at this. I mean, a good example, I hate to say this, but a good example would be, the social activities that I'm invited to by my father-in-law at the nursing home, not the nursing home, the assisted living,
right?
So I was driven by guilt in the very beginning when they started having these like social hours, special dances, that sort of thing. I was driven by guilt, so I would go function. Okay, but now on the island, for example, we're in season, so I can use that not as an excuse, but a
Mhm.
valid reason
It is very
why,
valid.
I can say no. I
Mhm.
can, I think it's always best to say, I'll try, however, like that, I like to use that.
Yes.
Because nobody likes to hear no, okay? So the
Right.
person having the function, at least it's, I'm not giving them a hard no.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try, however,
Yeah.
traffic is ridiculous,
Oh.
or I'm still playing catch up. That's
Right.
always a true one too.
Yeah.
So that's, if you hear me say, I'll try, but traffic has been horrendous and I'm still playing catch up from last week,
Mhm.
that's a no.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not anything mean. It's
No,
just
it's the truth.
preservation of
Yeah.
oneself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I say yes and I show up, I would say congratulations to you
Yeah.
for having my presence at your function.
That's right. Even if I use the Irish goodbye.
Yeah, even though I'm out early.
All right. Ghosting isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's self-care. Okay, we've been told that ghosting is rude, but is it really wrong if the alternative is forcing ourselves into social situations that drain us?
Okay, but see, ghosting, I
Uh,
can't imagine where
no,
ghosting is ever good.
okay.
Jen.
Here's what I think. I think that our generation definitely sees ghosting as rude.
Mhm.
I think the younger generation is comfortable with ghosting.
Okay, I think the opposite.
Well, here's why I say
Okay.
that, because in hiring for my husband's office, they have had a lot of difficulty where they will contact somebody will say, yes, I'll take the job, and then they boom,
Ghost.
they don't show up, and
All
it's
the time.
usually that generation.
Yes, but they don't know that they're ghosting. They don't consider that ghosting. Do you think? I mean, I agree with you 100%. I can't even tell you the amount of people.
I mean, they don't respond to text, they don't respond to email, they don't respond to phone call.
Yeah, right.
And so.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. So I think there's that ghosting, which I would say would be a way that they respond by not responding as ghosting.
Yeah.
But I think the term ghosting, I think, and I could be wrong, I think that generation before us thinks of ghosting as something different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think.
So in terms of ghosting, here's how I see it. It's just not responding in any manner. Like if I contacted you and you just fell off the face of the earth, basically.
Well, that would be scary because something probably did happen to me.
Right. Agreed.
Okay, so
Bridget, focus.
Okay. Ghosting, I think, is an intentional, like, blowing off of a relationship. That's what I think the generations before us considered ghosting.
So you think they're, see, I think they're I think they're unintentional just because they're so wrapped up in their own selves.
I do when they don't respond to you when it comes to a job.
Right. Yeah.
I think ghosting is tied to like dating and relationships. That's why I was
Gotcha.
That's why I was a bit thrown back. So, but I know it's the same terminology. So, because to me, when you bring it up here, like with our own energy, I look at it more as, oh, here, ghosting, sometimes it's self-care. It means to me more like blocking. Okay.
Yeah.
Like ghosting to me is rude. I think no matter what, but it is the alternative of forcing ourselves into social situations that drain us. So the ghosting just means like lack of communication. I mean, so that's kind of rude for adults, don't you think? I mean, so
unless there's somebody that is just draining and all they're doing is negatively
no, for sure.
complaining and they're just like,
Yeah, then
that's
you,
draining, then it's like, okay,
then
I'm
you
not
be-
gonna respond
no.
to this right now.
Right.
Because,
It's getting nowhere.
right,
Yeah,
right,
I agree with you.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
get
so
it,
I
I
don't
get
think that that is being rude,
right. No,
I
no,
think that's
I agree.
self-preservation.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. Are we obligated to explain every exit, or should we normalize leaving without guilt?
I think we all know the answer to that right now.
Yeah, we definitely normalize leaving.
Yeah,
without
the
guilt.
Irish exit.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to explain anything to anybody,
no,
because we left something in the car.
yeah, you gotta get to that car, all the goods are in it.
Be right back. Yeah, no, we don't have to, no, absolutely not. And we feel like we have to.
Right.
We don't,
No,
we don't.
no.
Gotta go.
Being socially available all the time, oh, this is a good one. Being socially available all the time is a modern expectation, one that past generations didn't have to deal with. Our parents and grandparents weren't expected to text back immediately or be reachable 24/7. Yet today, ignoring a text can be seen as an insult.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, if I can even tell you, and this, I've had this discussion with, many people, men included, about, okay, how do you think you are? Okay, so you know how like social media, when you message somebody on Facebook, it'll say so-and-so is good at returning they usually respond within
24 hours.
Okay,
yes.
so
yeah.
I wish that texting would give you the same message, so that like when I text my son, it'll say, Connor has received this message, but just to let you know, you probably won't hear back from him. That's what I wish that the phone would tell you the truth, because do you respond to your messages?
Yes and no. Usually. How's that? But I understand. So like, if I text my husband and he's at work, I don't expect, a lot of times I'm just texting him so that way I don't forget to tell him something.
Correct, same thing,
Right?
yeah.
I don't expect for him to immediately run and text me back, because he doesn't have his phone with him during the day. It sits on his desk. The same thing with my kids. If I text them something, I don't expect them to immediately text me back, because they could be in class.
Okay,
and I don't think it's fair to have that expectation of someone, because I don't know what they're up to. I don't know if they're in an appointment, in a meeting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would say a 3-hour window is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't, I need to get better at not being so, oh, look, I'm hardly in the picture. Look at me over here. Here I am.
There we go.
That again is for our visual listeners. Yeah. I guess because I'm so immediately responsive. No matter what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. I guess I don't like leaving people hanging. So when I text, I will text my husband 5 times during the day. Half is so I don't forget something.
Right.
And then the other half is like I'm sitting here at the grocery store or the doctor's office and I need an answer, kind of like stat.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, if you take 10 messages, there'll be 0 response on any of it, by the time I get home. Now, and then I'll get home and half of the stuff that I was requesting something to be done is all done. So he got the message, he did it. He's just not a girl. So he didn't send back a gotcha or a okay or a, so I just have to learn, the art of men and women in texting.
Right. And there is, you are completely right. There is a difference between the two, because when I text my husband or my son, it's like you said, they will receive the message and it might not be a question or anything. And they will do or understand, you know what I mean?
Please feed the dogs and give Adrian his pill. I've already fed the fish. Okay, so
Yeah. That gets done.
yeah, but you don't know.
Right.
To you, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely get, yeah. Whereas if I were to text one of my girls, well, my older one more so, because my younger one is very much like my husband and my son, won't get a response. So, which is why I have the read receipts on hers.
Okay, yeah.
So that way I know it was read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one time, not too long ago, there was like a longtime friend that I had in the business, and it's, you know, a guy. And I said to him, tell me something. I said, when your mom texts you, do you respond back to her? He's like, oh, F no.
Oh, see?
And he's somebody that you would assume would do it. So I was like, okay. He's like, and Bridget, I apologize for all of us men.
Yeah.
Because he said we don't, and we're not worthy, and we need to be, you know, punished for that. But we just don't. And I said, okay, I need to know. You know? Yeah. So
okay, one more. Are we over socialized? Do we actually need fewer interactions, not more? Oh. Well, I mean, I think I feel like I'm turning more things down.
By over socialized, do you mean like because of social media? Like everything?
Oh, that's true.
Everything coming at us at once.
That's another way.
You know?
I was thinking events, but no, that's another way. So.
Well,
yeah,
living on a sanctuary barrier island that is fairly affluent, yes. We are definitely over socialized, and definitely this time of year. Everybody is fundraising. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. I mean, my daughter is so busy with all the Kiwanis and Rotary and
young professionals,
CHR and young professionals and Zanta and like everything she's involved in, the Realtors Association. Oh my God. Everybody is out to get donations. And you feel like you have to attend. I feel like, especially when you're younger, because it's about those connections, right? Especially networking. Smaller, Yep. So, and anything having to do with raising money or donations is important. I mean, plus Katie is involved in like in animal shelters, and it's everything. It's people, animals, saving the earth, the planet, the island, and animals and people. Like that's a lot. Save it all. That's a lot. So we're definitely over socialized on this island. We definitely need a trip and a vacation. Yeah. Go listen to a previous episode. Sorry, that was a little joke. That was a previous episode joke. Which, if you are a loyal listener, you would already know this. You'll be laughing right now. You'll still be laughing at that joke. I remember that episode. Yeah. All right, nail salon wisdom. If you are not feeling it, leave it. No one's giving out awards for staying at a party too long. Bingo. Yeah. Oh, leave it. The party let you know. Yeah. Can you say that again, please? Yeah, sure. If you're not feeling it, leave it. No one's giving out awards for staying at a party too long. Yeah. Bye-bye. And that's where the Irish exit comes in. Very handy. Very handy. Because nobody has to know how quickly you left. They won't ever know. Hey, when did you leave? Oh, God, I was there for a couple hours at least. I don't even know. I was having so much fun. I don't even know what time I had to get something from my car. Yeah. It's all good. Okay, self-preservation. That's the number one game. Number one rule. Self-preservation. There's only you, and sometimes you're your only best friend. That's right. So be nice to yourself, right? Yep. Yep. All right. Until next time. Stay sassy and sexy and what? Stay what? Sun-kissed and sassy. Stay sun-kissed and sassy and sexy. And keep showing up for yourself. And if you rest, you rest. You rest, you're up. All right.